September 9th, 9:52 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. What's up, everybody? It's here's another one. Welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last part, well, we were accused of the murder of our own mentor, and, well, now we have to defend ourselves in a court of law. Well, I guess this is it. Yeah. One way or another, this case gets decided today. Ah, Phoenix, look. Prosecutor Edgeworth. I received a call from the Chief Prosecutor's office yesterday. I was told that whatever Wright says today, it will be the absolute truth, no matter how you try to attack his testimony. If I raise an objection, I have it on good faith that the judge will listen to me. Whoa, sorry about that cut there. Something weird happened that I needed to tell the me editing this to do. That just sounds weird. I just need to remind myself of something in post. What does Wright have on the... What? Does Wright have something on the judge in his... I'm sorry, let me just make one small change. What? Does Wright have the... What? Does Wright have the judge in his pocket too? So you're saying I'm going to be guilty. End of story? I will do anything to get my verdict, Mr. Wright. Anything. Why? Why? Okay, I'm not... No. I just realized... whatever. Sorry about that. Well, sorry about that. Just weird things keep happening. How can you torment an innocent person like this? Innocence? How can we know that? The guilty will always lie to avoid being found out. There's no way to tell who is guilty and who is innocent. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty. So I make that my policy. Edgeworth, you've changed. Hmm? Phoenix, you know him? Don't expect any special treatment, Phoenix Wright. Phoenix? Well, court will be starting soon. What? But wait! Your defense attorney isn't even here yet. They're not... I'll be defending myself. What? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this indeed. It's been a while since I've recorded anything Ace Attorney related. I think I've actually finished. I started and finished Apollo Justice in between episodes. So yeah, this is gotta get Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, are you sure you're up to doing this? Yes, Your Honor. I will be defending myself. Understood. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. As the details of the event are already quite clear to the court, today we will hear the testimony of a witness to the defendant's crime. I see. The prosecution may call its witness. That went far too smoothly. Why didn't the judge ask Edgeworth why this witness didn't testify before? It's like he already knows why. If anyone's going to raise an objection to this, I suppose it's me. Mr. Edgeworth, you owe an explanation to the court. Why didn't this witness testify in the trial against Miss Mia Fey? I'm ever so sorry. Mr. Wright is a busy man, and besides, at the time, I thought that Miss May's opinion was all that would be needed. Again, my sincerest apologies to the court. Excellent, Mr. Edgeworth. I appreciate your demeanor. Great. He gets to show off and I get nowhere. I would like to call Mr. Red White to the stand. Hello, shiny teeth. Please state your full name. You wish to know the title of my personage? Your name. Yes, that is what I said. Oh dear, To be fair, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I could probably try, but I'm not even going to bother. Name. These two are great together. My name is Red White, but my friends call me Blanco Nino. I am the CEO, or to use a more common term, the president of Blue Corp. Did you know the victim, Miss Mia Fey? That would be a negatory. No, I did not. You were at the Gatewater Hotel the night of the murder? Correct. And you witnessed the murder from there? Why tell you what you already know? Very well, Mr. Wright. Wright? I'm sorry, Mr. White. You may begin your testimony. If I can't rip this guy's testimony apart, I'm done for. Why do I always feel like it's the end of the world and I'm the last man standing? Ho, ho, ho. I hope you've made your peace with God, Mr. Lawyer. Let him have it, Phoenix. I'm not doing voices because, no, I'm just not a good voice actor. Let's see, it was about 9... Well, I say I'm not going to do voices yet, I give a voice to White. I don't know why, I can't help it. Let's see, it was about 9 o'clock, I believe. I was quietly perusifying, or that's reading to you, some papers by the window. You know, I hate the fact that this guy uses big words. I can tell what he's saying from the big words, but just pronouncing them for whatever reason, it gets to me. Like, for whatever reason, I just can't do it right away. I have to stop and think about how I'm going to pronounce it, despite the fact that English is my first language. My only language, also. Then I heard a bedlam coming from outside. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. It was then that I saw him, a spiky-haired man attacking a woman with long hair. Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Lawyer. I called Miss May over at once. She, too, was flabbergasted, of course. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Finally, there was a terrible impaction that it was all over. If things occur as you testify, then I'm afraid the defendant is guilty. Very well, defendant, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, again, it's been a while since I've done this case, and it's been a while since I've even seen someone play through it, so I'm just gonna press everything. How did you know what time it was? Actually, hold on. Duh! Wrong, hold on. Oh. I didn't even read any of that. All I was looking for was the time of death. How do you know what time it was? Because I am always absolutely perfect, you know? No, you're not getting away with that. You are so mistrusting, Mr. Lawyer. So, what was the proper term for secretary again? Anyway, Miss May ordered room service around 9. It happened soon after the room service arrived. That's what Miss May said, too. Let's press further. True, the bellboy who brought the coffee saw Miss May. But he testified that he did not see you at the time. Ahem. This is your concern? Silly lawyer, Miss May received the coffee outside the room. Of course he could not see me. He would need X-ray vision to pull off something like that. Tell us, what were you doing at the time? I was quietly crucifying. Why am I still doing this? By window, you mean the one directly across from Fey and Co. offices? Correct. That is the only window you see. And there you were reading papers? Correct. The Gatewater is a businessman's hotel, and I am a busy man who has business to do. Had months. Oh God! Wow! Oh God! As you can, what? God, I'm just making myself look more and more like an idiot the more this goes. Then I heard a bedlam coming from outside. A bedlam? It must have been when you attacked, I assume. We see. Continue. Well, we got nothing with that. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. So you were reading your papers until you heard that sound? But of course, I am no snoop peeping out of windows at night. No snoop? Yeah, right. You've made a career out of snooping. It was then that I saw him, a spiky-haired man attacking a woman with long hair. Spiky-haired? Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Lawyer. What you just said directly contradicts with Miss May's testimony. Miss May clearly stated that the assailant looked like a girl. I've always been proud of my eyesight, Mr. Lawyer. Just what is your eyesight? Counting both eyes, 40. 40? Don't add them together. I think the witness is trying to say his eyesight is good. Hey, whose side are you on? Whose side is the judge on anyway? And what did you do then? I called Miss May over at once. She too was surprised, of course. What was Miss May doing at the time? She had just finished watching a soap opera on the TV and was weeping openly. Did you know she had been tapping the Fey off his phone? Irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the case at hand. I care not. I will answer the lawyer's bold inquiry. Miss May was acting alone when she tapped the phone of this Fey woman. You'd make a good politician, Mr. White. Ho ho, I know. After all, I am El Presidente. Please continue. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Can you be a little more detailed about that? I think it's worth knowing exactly what happened. Of course, comprende, I understand. The victim was attacked by you, and then ran to the left. You gave chase and struck her down. Are you sure? As you know, I am always absolutely perfect. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this new detail. And here we go! I finally figured out what it was I'm supposed to do. The victim ran to the left, and you gave chase. The victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. Wait right there! Mr. White, you've dug your own grave. What is this? You said the victim ran to the left, but that directly contradicts Miss May's testimony. She clearly stated that the victim ran to the right. Oh, it is simple. You have misheard her. I think not. Look at the floor plans. The killer was here, and the victim here. If the victim ran to the left, as you claim she did, she would have been running directly away from the door. She would have been running into a dead end. Don't you find that odd? Very strange. I did see her run to the left. I did. Phoenix, look at his face. I don't think he's lying about this one. True. Maybe he really did see the victim run left. So he did witness the killing. Wait a second. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Miss May says right, and Mr. White says left. Can you explain this contradiction to the court? Both are right. Both witnesses are telling the truth, for once. Ha! I doubt it. Or rather, that does not clear up the contradiction. There is one scenario that would explain their conflicting accounts. What? Obviously, the witness was not viewing the crime from the hotel. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Yes, what do you mean? He was not viewing the crime from the hotel. If he was not in the hotel, where could he have been? In the law offices of Fey and Co., of course. More specifically, he was standing here. Time to show the court where Mr. White was standing. This is where he was. Look. The victim ran for the door. If he was watching from this point of view, to him it would appear that she ran to the left. Please, this is no time for jokes and ill taste. That is where the killer was standing. Order! I will have order. Anyone disturbing the order of this courtroom will be held in contempt. Mr. Wright, what are you suggesting? Rapscallion. The postulations of the defense are a distortion of the truth, Your Honor. Oh god, I'm not good at reading. Indeed, they do seem a bit far-fetched. Ho ho ho. You provide us with so much entertainment, Mr. Lawyer. What now? He's laughing? The hilarity of the moment made me remember something. It appears that I've been unclear, and for this I apologize. Mr. Your Honor, might I be allowed to testify once more? Very well. Let's hear your revised testimony. Good luck. You can't fix a broken testimony, buddy. She ran to the left. Oh god, this is another problem I just realized with me commentating this game. I'm spending so much time reading that I don't really have a chance to say anything. Because I don't feel like it's an appropriate time. But at the same time, I feel like you can't get genuine reactions or anything from this game unless you're playing through it blind, which I'm not. I may be unclear on some of the details of each case, but generally I know how they go down. Miss May's testimony was correct, as was mine. When you assaulted the girl, she first ran to the left, and then you hit her savagely. That is what I saw. Next, with the last of her strength, she ran to the right. You chased her and delivered the final blow. Died from a blow by a blunt object. And nothing to suggest there was more than one hit. That is what Miss May saw. You see, you hit her twice. Don't you remember, Mr. Lawyer? That does seem to make sense. Will you be cross-examining the witness's testimony? You bet I will. I mean, yes, Your Honor. She ran to the left. Miss May's testimony was correct, as was mine. To the right. I'm gonna press this. Because I don't have any evidence that just straight up says that she was only hit once. Because if that was supposed to be what I was supposed to do, is just present this, I have a feeling it would say died from a single blow to the head from a blunt object. I suppose I was. And please excuse me for not testifying to this sooner. And this is just... left in here, savagely, that's what it's... Oh, damn it. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. I'm an idiot. I was trying to check it. Well, the only thing I can think to do is present this. And that works. Okay. That's fine. Mr. White? The victim died from a single blow. What do you have to say to that? Now's my chance to hit him where it counts. Mr. White, wasn't it you who told this court you were abso-positively perfect? I will refrain from using this phrase from now on. Your Honor, if I could ask the witness for a new testimony. The witness is obviously confused, Your Honor. I would like to request a 10-minute break. Yes, quite. The witness is confused because he's lying. I emphatically request that there be no break, Your Honor. Don't let him get away! Very well. If the witness would care to revise his testimony. The crowd's on my side. No slipping out of this now, White. Mr. White? Oh, okay. Yeah, he definitely realizes the situation he's in now. Well, see, I looked at the other window when I heard that thing fall. Then, the next moment I saw Miss Mia run to the left. The killer, you, attacked her, but she dodged. And then she turned and ran for the door. Then you did her in with a single blow. Thwap! Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Mr. Your Honor, my stomach, you see, it is hurting. Deal with it. This is almost over. The 2 accounts. Thing fall. That thing? What are you talking about? And you heard that thing fall? What exactly was that thing? Huh? Oh, that. The glass light stand. Right. The one that had fallen over at the scene. Phoenix, doesn't something about that strike you as odd? Yeah, very odd. I'll press further. Mr. White. Huh? What? You're saying you saw the glass light stand? Yes. Then change your testimony to reflect that. Sorry, my bad. The witness will revise his testimony. Okay, of course. A light stand was lying on the floor when I looked. Now, I don't know what to present. I'm not sure if I present this, or if I present the glass from the light stand. I'm gonna go with this. Mr. White, it was impossible for you to have seen the light stand because, as you can see, well, the light stand was not... You just wouldn't be able to see the light stand through the window. You just couldn't. Maybe you could see the glass on the floor, maybe, but there's no way to know it would be a light stand. What? The stand broke into pieces when it fell. Oof! Just by seeing the broken pieces, you would have no idea it was a light stand. So tell me, exactly when was it that you saw the stand? Answer the question! Isn't it obvious? I saw the stand before it fell over. So, you saw the stand before the victim was attacked then? Correct! That would be no problemo, right? Big problemo. There's a big problem here. What problem is this? Mr. Wright? Oh, right? I'm sorry, Mr. White. Let me make sure I have this straight. You saw the glass light stand through the window from the hotel before the incident occurred? Correct! That is so. It is conclusive, definitive, undeniable, unimpeachable. No, it's impossible. You couldn't have seen the stand. What? Why couldn't he? You have proof? I sure do, Your Honor. A person in the hotel could not have seen the stand before it fell over. Because of this. Look at this. These are the floor plans to the scene of the murder, yes? Correct, Your Honor. Now, look. If you were to look through the window at the office, this is the area you'd be able to see. Here. Well, note that the stand is not within the visible area. Well, Mr. White, what do you have to say to that? Ridiculosity! Mr. White, if you were in the Gatewater Hotel as you claim, you could not have seen the stand before it fell over. In fact, you wouldn't have been able to see it after it fell either. There's no way you could have recognized the broken shards as a glass light stand. So, when did you see the stand, Mr. White? It must have been the moment that it fell, and the only place you could have seen that from is inside the law offices. In other words, you were at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. I'm not doing a loud scream. There's someone doing stuff upstairs. If I were alone, then I'd probably scream. Mr. White? Mr. White? You did it, didn't you? Mr. Your Honor? Miss Mia. Looks like we're about to get our verdict. That's far enough, Phoenix Wright. What? I forgot about Edgeworth. Mr. White, I think the time has come. Shouldn't you confess your crime now? What? I said you should confess your crime. Ergo, confess that you placed the wiretap. The wiretap? Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth, explain to the court what you mean by this. Distinguished members of the court, Mr. White is slightly confused. Allow me to explain. I really don't like the way this is headed. As you know, Mr. White is the CEO of Blue Corp. He ordered his secretary, Miss April May, to tap the law offices of Miss Fey. What does that have to do, Your Honor? The question is, when was the wiretap placed in the office, and by who? No, you wouldn't. Mr. White, in order to place the wiretap, you entered Miss Fey's office. Am I correct? Correct. You are most correct, Miles. Give me a break. Yes, in order to place the wiretap, I breached the Fey & Co. law offices. That is when I saw the accursed light stand. Now I'm confused. Please explain to the court what all this means, Mr. Edgeworth. Gladly, Your Honor. Mr. Phoenix Wright has made his position quite clear. He has determined that Mr. White knew the glass light stand was in the office. He has shown that there was only one time Mr. White could have seen the stand, at the very moment of the murder. Thus, Mr. White would like you to believe that Mr. White was the murderer. I see. However, it is a fact that Mr. White had been to that office well before the murder took place. When he went to the place to God, why can't I read this simple sentence? When he went to place the wiretap, he could have seen the glass light stand then. Ergo, Mr. Phoenix Wright's theory is revealed for the baseless conjecture that it is. Conjuncture? Conjecture. You will testify to the court about this wiretapping. Ahem. Leave it to me. I feel faint. The wiretapping. It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. I had entered the Fey & Co. law offices. Of course, I had done so to place the wiretap. That is when I saw this glass light stand. A week before the murder. There is one thing I'd like to point out about some evidence right now. This right here. A department store receipt with letters written in blood on the back. We can't do any more investigating of this. We can't check this. We can't see if there's any more details or anything else about it. It's just a receipt from a department store. Note that. Because I understand why someone wouldn't think to check this on their first playthrough, but on repeat playthroughs, you know, like, someone may just present this receipt thinking, like, okay, like, this is the evidence to prove him guilty. Except, you can't do that, because Phoenix never thinks to just check the other side of this receipt. And I understand why, but again, on repeat playthroughs, not being able to do that, kind of stupid. So you saw the stand before the night of the incident. And this is how you were able to identify what had fallen over, by the sound? Correct. That is right. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine. Gah! What am I supposed to do now? Good luck, Phoenix. So, I don't think we really can do anything. I think we're just supposed to I'm just gonna hold down B, and just keep going, and I think after I do it 3 times, the game will proceed. Or not. I guess I have to press everything. Do you have proof? Miss April May knew the details of Miss Fey's phone conversation. This proves that the wiretap was placed before the murder. Huh. Right. I had entered the Fey & Co. law offices. I needed to check this one. Was it really you that went to the office? Or was it Miss May? Unidentified fingerprints several days old were found in the Fey & Co. law offices. Those were obviously Mr. White's. And if I know Edgeworth, he's already run a check on those prints. Now, Mr. White, tell us why you went to the Fey & Co. law offices. Of course I had done so to place the wiretap. Why did you tap Mia's phone? This has no bearing on the current case, Your Honor. Blue Corp is a detective agency of sorts. We have a responsibility to protect client confidentiality. That is when I saw this glass light stand. Why did you notice something as innocuous as a light stand? The light stand was made entirely out of glass. It was quite stylish, so I guess it made a lasting impression on me. Such a beautacious thing deserves attention, does it not? That is all. Damn it! There's nothing there for me to press him on. Oh well, maybe he's rattled enough that I can bluff something out of him. Okay, now I'm very confused, because you can't do anything! Uh-oh, don't tell me I've run out of ammo. Tisk tisk. I'm afraid that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. The time has come for you to admit your defeat. You fought honorably. No more. I can't take this anymore. Mr. Wright, are you giving up? Yes, Your Honor. Phoenix. Phoenix, over here. I know that voice. Mia? Never give up, Phoenix. Mia? Oh, God. Where am I? The waiting lobby? What happened? Oh, right. I lost the trial. I was hallucinating. Ah, you're finally awake. Ah! Hey, Phoenix! Ah? That's no way to greet an old friend. Phoenix, I want you to look at me. You're... Maya? Didn't you know the Fey women have strong psychic powers? When you accepted your defeat in court, it appears that was enough of a shock to awaken Maya's true powers. So, Maya is channeling you, Mia? That's right. I'm Maya, but I'm also Mia. Now, I want you to listen to me, Phoenix. Maya never gave up, and neither you can't either. That's why I came here to tell you. But we don't have much time, Phoenix. Now listen. You've already won. Huh? You have that receipt in the court record, right? Oh, yeah. The one you wrote Maya on? Phoenix. White wrote that, not me. So, what do I do with it? Look at the front of the receipt. The front? It's a regular receipt. Looks like it's from a famous department store. $1,000. Wow, a pretty big spender. Actually, now that I think about it, why didn't you check the front of it? Just because. Just because. I feel that's something an investigator wouldn't just overlook, even if it's just a small, seemingly unimportant detail. Item. Glass light stand. Date of purchase, September 4th. Oh yeah, the autopsy doesn't tell us when that happened. September 4th? That's right, Phoenix. I bought that stand the day before I was killed. Whoa! Now, what did Mr. White say in his testimony? It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. He said he saw the stand the week before the murder. There you go. I think the court is about to reconvene. Go do it, Phoenix. You know you're innocent. Now you just have to prove it. Right. Receipt for a glass light stand. The date of purchase is the day before the murder. Again, I know it's a small, unimportant detail, but the fact that he wouldn't at the very least look at the other side and just read what was on it just because is... Maybe I've been playing these games too long and I know to check for stuff like that. Maybe it's because I've played through this case like 2 or 3 times. But the fact that Phoenix never thinks to check the other side of the receipt for any kind of information, regardless of how unimportant it is, just seems stupid to me. Again, I'm no detective. Maybe that is something that would be overlooked, but especially on repeat playthroughs, because at that point the player has more information than the character, but we're limited to what the character knows. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. Well, then again, the opening cutscene to the first case. Is the defendant rather, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Yes, sorry, Your Honor. I'm fine now. Then let's start where we left off. Your Honor, there's nothing to go back to. The cross-examination of Mr. White is finished. All that is required now is for you to pass judgment on the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Your Honor, please, give me one more chance. I promise you, this is the last time I'll ask you. But, as Mr. Edgeworth has noted, the trial is more or less finished. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have an opinion on this matter? I say, let us give Mr. Phoenix Wright his last chance. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. The wiretapping. It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. No, it wasn't. Look closely at this. See the word Maya written in blood? Blah! You're grasping. I think not. Look at the other side of the receipt. The other side? Your Honor, would you tell the court what is written on the other side of that receipt? Well, a glass light stand. And the date of purchase... Why, that's the day before the murder. You see, Mr. White, when you allegedly entered the Fey & Co. law offices at the beginning of September, the stand could not have been there. Well, Mr. White, can't get out of this one, can you? No. It's impossible. Uh-oh, he's losing it. Well, Your Honor, I understand there must be quite a bit of pressure on you. But I think you'll agree you can't judge me guilty under these circumstances. Very well. Then, that is all for the trial of... Not so fast, Phoenix Wright. Eh? What? No way he can worm his way out of this one. Oh wait, I forgot. It's Edgeworth. There is a certain thread of logic to the defendant's claim. However, there is no concrete proof that Phoenix Wright is innocent. Ergo, I would like to request one more day before Phoenix Wright is granted his freedom. I need time to make one more inquiry into this matter. Another inquiry? This isn't going to be another one of those updated autopsy reports. This guy just makes stuff up as evidence as he pleases. This is bad. Mr. White's guilt is obvious. There is no need to prolong this trial any further. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? If anyone is going to call Mr. White to trial, it would be me, the prosecution. I need a day to ascertain whether these new claims have any basis in factual evidence. I see. Objection denied. What? The completion of the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright will be postponed until tomorrow. No! There's no telling what will happen if I can't end this now. Edgeworth is sure to come up with, or just make up, something. And after Mia showed up and helped me out and all. Mr. Your Honor, may I go home? Of course. Thank you for your time. Gah! The witness will stay. Mia? Phoenix, read this note out loud. Mia? What's this? Memo received from Mia. Your Honor, if I may, hold on, I just want to check this. This is in the court record for so short a time. A list of people's names in Mia's handwriting. You're quite persistent today, Mr. Wright. You bet I am. My life is riding on this one. I have something I would like to read to the court. The memo Mia had given me was a list of names. Many of them sounded strangely familiar. People in People in finance, famous celebrities. That's when it happened. Stop! Desist! Halt! Please, stop! Make him stop! How did you get that list? Mr. Wright, admit your guilt. Right here, right now. Or else this list will be released to the press. I confess. I confess. I did it. I hit her. I hit Miss Mia with the thinker. Case closed, Your Honor. Well, I see no reason to continue this trial. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've done it again. That was quite a spirited defense. Yes, Your Honor. I guess you could say that. If only you knew how spirited it was. Well, this court finds the defense, rather, the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. September 9th, 2:24 p.m. District Court, Defendant's Lobby Number 1. Well, I never thought I'd be saying this again, but congratulations. You're lucky I was born a Fey. I'm lucky I had both you and Maya on my side. I'm glad you made it. Thank you, Phoenix. You risked a lot to help me, and Maya. I won't forget it as long as I live. As long as you live? My time here is running out. Huh? Maya's powers are still weak. I can't stay here that long. What? No! There's still so much I have to say. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll meet again. Chief! I'm not the chief anymore. Oh god. Quit saying Phoenix, can you come to the office tonight? Say 9 o'clock? The office? I'll see you later. Chief! Mia! September 9th, 9:02 p.m. Fanco Law Offices. Being here, it's hard not to think about that night. You came! Mia, I was kind of worried you might not. Huh? Of course I came. Well then, I'm pretty hungry. How about a burger? Mia? You should see your face. Mia? What are you talking about? It's me, Maya. Maya? What? Did I look like my sister? Look like you were her! I might be able to use that. Oh, Phoenix, go to the store and buy me lunch, would you? Maya, why are you here? Because of this. See? Mia wrote me a letter. Take care of Phoenix for me. Take care of... Huh? She means the office. This office. Someone has to help you with the new Wright & Co. law offices, right? And who better but me? Mia Fey, reporting for duty. Wait, no. On second thought, let's make this casual. Yo, Nick. Maya here, ready to get down to business. You don't mind me calling you Nick, do you? It's a great name. Mia said that's what your friend Larry calls you. Nick. You know what this means? We're partners. You know, when I think about it, it is Maya's fault I'm here now. But if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be in jail. Wright & Co. offices. It's got a good ring to it. Yeah. Thanks, Maya. Good luck, Phoenix. I'll always be here, watching. Right. Okay, Nick. Let's do it. Huh? Do what? Burgers, dummy. Burgers. There's a great burger joint just down the street. Come on. Time's a wasting. Okay. Wait up. Alright. Don't want to do too long of an outro here, but that was Case 2 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the next part, we will be starting on Case 3, Turnabout Samurai. Alright, I will also be continuing on Let's Play Fallout 3 in the next video I upload, not the next episode of this series. And I have decided that I will be continuing my Let's Play of Pokemon Yellow instead of just starting a new one. Though I will be recording the new gameplay just because it's going to be closer to HD. And that'll look better for my Pokemon retrospective. Anyway, I've already said enough. I got somewhere to be in 3 minutes. So, I'll see you guys later.
Objection!